Good evening, Camp Springs community. I'm John Bailey, the president of the Camp Springs Civic Association. Welcome to the CSCA's first community meeting of its fiscal year. I appreciate you taking time to join us for what has become our new normal way of meeting. While this is a new method of communicating, we are still committed to our mission of building a better community. Before we get started, I would like to take a few moments to introduce our board members, starting with our executive board. Ms. Candace Stretcher, our vice president, Arlene Wilson, our treasurer, Monique Taylor, recording secretary and membership chair, Carolyn Fleming, corresponding secretary, Tammy Jones, immediate past president, and also on the board we have Beverly Taylor, Ms. Betty Cohut, Kalila Denny, Leon Turner, Will Marie McCoy, Claudia Poole, Valerie Fitzgerald, James Randolph, Frank Porter, and Carl Bowens. Each of them has been an integral part to the success of the CSCA, and I appreciate their continued support. So let's take a moment to give them a virtual applause. Thank you. This year has been challenging. The recent pandemic has affected our community in areas that are unimaginable. Several of our residents were without necessary resources to combat the economic pressure of the virus. Our vision for this season will focus on engaging our residents and providing the necessary assistance and resources in navigating through this pandemic. We will be incorporating some new tools, and I am excited to share them with you. In addition to our regular community meetings, we will also host small sessions throughout this year that will highlight some of our hot topics. These sessions will provide an opportunity for residents to discuss one specific topic and receive additional information and resources for this particular topic. We will continue to host contactless events like our recent Shred Day and Canned Food Drive. This event serviced more than 300 cars for shred service and more than a couple thousand pounds of canned goods that we donated to 2 local pantries in the Camp Springs community. I encourage each of you to subscribe to our YouTube page where you will be able to see informational videos that will highlight the businesses of Camp Springs and feature educational tips and tools, health and wellness resources, and financial literacy information. Members may also sign up to volunteer for any of our committees to assist on the front line in the efforts of sustaining our community. Please visit our website for information on how to sign up. Our website is campspringsca.org. Today's meeting was supposed to feature also our Board of Elections Outreach Coordinator, Marilyn Dunstan. Marilyn was called away unexpectedly and will not be able to join us for this meeting. However, she did provide several resources that are posted on our website. If you prefer to have these in hard copy, please contact us and we will coordinate getting those to you. So without further ado, I will turn this over to the moderator for the evening, our Vice President, Candace Stretcher. Again, welcome and thank you for your participation.
Thank you, John. So one of the things that we wanted to begin with, because of course, we've all seen the news and we know what's going on in the world in terms of law enforcement, but as a Camp Springs Civic Association, I think that we can all agree that our community policing officers and those who are dedicated to ensuring our safety are committed and often report out on what's going on in the community. And so, as we do with every meeting, we invite our COPS officers or representatives from the Prince George's County Police Department to join us to provide a report on exactly what's going on in our community. So with that, Officer Gordon is on. And I'd like for Officer Gordon to give us the crime statistics that we're expecting to hear. So we look forward to hearing from Officer Gordon.
Good evening. This is Corporal Gordon, Prince George County Police, District 5 Community Policing Office. I'm here to give you guys crime statistics for the area. I'm going to start with District 5 crime stats for the whole District 5. 1 second. We're experiencing a lot of, 1 second. Our violent crime is up 7.5% compared to last year. Our burglaries is up 79.7% compared to last year during the same time. And we're struggling with commercial burglaries. So it's happening overnight. That's at 135%. And then also our shed burglaries, it's up pretty much too. And that's our other crime as commercial, as burglaries is under other. And that's up 315%. They're pretty much, they go into your shed, stealing lawnmowers, and anything that's easy to take. Theft of models is up 23%, and stolen vehicles is up 7.3%. And like I said, that's for the whole District 5, and District 5 is about 130 square miles, FYI. Far as you guys, the Camp Springs area, I went by month. So this last month we had 3 robberies. All right. We had one on 8/22, and that was in the area of 1 second, Gibbons Drive in Fort Washington. Did you guys want me to break down and read some of the notes for it, or?
Sure.
All right, so this one, I'm sorry, this one didn't give me too much, but I have to bring this one back to you. I'm gonna save this one under my documents, but it doesn't give me too much note on this one. This other one will happen on 8/25 at 2 a.m. It was a carjacking in the area of the 6200 block of Allentown Road. I believe this is Aurora Farms. I don't know if you guys heard about that. And then another one on 8/25 at 207 was I think it was the same thing, same carjacking. So it was actually two robberies last month. We had 3 burglaries. See the burglaries. Same date, I'm sorry. So 2. So on 9/4/2020 at 8 p.m., we had a burglary report at the 6426 Old Branch Avenue. Someone broke into business overnight. We had another one on the 4th, happened at 5:51. They reported it. That was a residential burglary. It happened at 6707 Collins Street. And then we had one on 8/26. It's another commercial burglary. Then the thefts. So we're still having a lot of theft and fraud complaints. So please, people, be mindful. There's people out here frauding a lot, especially during this time. It's a lot of fraud, and so be careful, especially giving your information over the phone. Don't give your information on the phone. Actually, someone tried to get me from Zelle, so you just got to be careful and mindful. Look at your emails, and please take anything valuable out of your vehicle. These guys are coming in overnight, and they stealing pennies, coins, anything that hold value. If it's money, they're going to take it. Computers, anything, and lock your vehicle as well. You have to lock your vehicle because a lot of these cases, the vehicle's unlocked. So lock your doors. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Officer Gordon. So, one of the things that came up, especially during the 4th of July holiday, I'm sure the complaints were probably up relative to fireworks. People aren't sure whether they're gunshots or fireworks. So one of the questions that I think we'd like an answer to is the best way to handle that when it happens, because of course, when you're in your home, you're not sure what direction it's coming from. Um, what's your advice when it comes to sort of dealing with that, especially around the 4th of July holiday?
That's a good question. That's very, very hard. Fireworks is something we get every year around 4th of July and a couple other holidays. And then I think this year has probably been the worst because of Black Lives Matter. So they've been doing fireworks month after month after month. You can definitely call. The fire marshals are the ones that actually handle those fire complaints, and we will respond out there. Matter of fact, we respond to anything. So if it's a gunshots call and it turns out to be fireworks, then we'll do the investigation, send up to the fire department because the fire marshals do that investigation. Fireworks is illegal in Prince George's County. So if your neighbor is on fireworks, please give your information. I'm sorry, please give that information to your community officer. You can send that officer a text or email anonymously, and just explain to them my neighbor is on fireworks and it's a safety issue. Anything like that, just give it to your community officer.
Thank you, Officer Gordon. That's very helpful. I do have another question, just relative to some of the things that I've seen on Nextdoor recently. There was a woman whose spare bedroom had a bullet hole in it. Somebody was firing off actual live rounds, and one ended up in her home. And of course, she filed a police report. But you know, there are things that are happening that are certainly of concern. And so you know, I know that there's no really solid answer for something unexpected like that, especially since, you know, we certainly don't expect that to be the case. But, you know, just wanted to mention that from the standpoint of something that's going on in our community. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, when homes are vacant, I think we're seeing an uptick in perhaps the theft of copper pipes and things of that nature. So I think that one of the things that might be helpful for residents, especially when you know that homes are vacant in your community, is sort of keeping an eye out for them and calling the police if you see some activity that is questionable. So if there's anything else that you think would be helpful for us at this stage, just kind of in terms of where we are in our community and the things that you're seeing as an officer who's on the street. You know, I certainly want to thank you for your service. And I know that there's been a lot of conversation around defunding the police, but I know that in Camp Springs, when we call the police, they come and they are very responsive. And the other thing is, you know, I want to remind residents that we have what's called an area check. If there's some issues in your community, our local police departments will take calls related to area checks, and you can set up a specific time for officers to basically observe certain things that are happening in the community. So with that, Officer Gordon, I just wanted to give you the opportunity for the last word. If there are any other pearls of wisdom that you'd like to give us as a community that wants to stay safe and livable and clean. Of course, that's another issue altogether, because I know litter is something that people want to hear about too. And, you know, one of the things that often happens is we see signs that say that there is a fine for littering, but I don't think that any of us are clear whether or not that's happening and how to achieve that as well.
Just want to say thank you. We definitely appreciate assisting you guys as well. One thing I can say about the vacant houses, if you live beside a vacant house, the one suggestion I give to one of my communities is if you have an older vehicle or if you have 5 vehicles, you can park one of the vehicles in the driveway. Another thing is try to cut the grass, because once people start noticing the grass is high, that means no one's really paying attention to that property. So it sucks but at the same time, it's also keeping your community safe because we don't want any squatters moving in. We don't want anybody stealing copper pipes, or we don't want kids going in. We know that the schools are shut down, but they're doing virtual learning. But still, during break time, we don't want them going inside that vacant house. So there's a lot of ways you can, like to that vehicle, cutting the grass, reaching out to that property owner. So it might be the bank, but you can always get that information through DPI. So you call the DPI inspector. They should have that information who owns that property. So that's one another helpful agency is DPI. If you have vehicles in your community that's been abandoned, anything of that nature. If you got someone that has couches in front of their houses and it doesn't look right in the community, DPI will come out and do the investigation, and then they'll call us out to assist them as well. Far as the shooting, do you have the address for that shooting so I can look it up?
The shooting, we're talking about the one that happened, I guess, near the Giant, and then there was an Aldi. I guess that person then went to Aldi and asked for assistance. So it started, I guess, in District 5 maybe, and then moved to District 4. I'm not exactly sure on where the boundary changes specifically.
Yeah, I got to see it. I got to look that up because we share Allentown Road, so a lot of crimes may say Allentown Road, but one side is ours where the Roy Farms is, and across the street is District 4. So I got to figure out what date that was too, so I can definitely give you guys that information back, I guess, through email as well. See if the suspect's been caught and if there's any updated information.
Okay, that was actually Friday the 4th of September.
Perfect. I can let's see. Did you guys want me to look it up now or send you guys email back later?
If you have time to look it up now, we sure be interested in sort of an update.
All right, give me 1 second. You said the 4th?
Correct.
And it happened at the Audis on Allentown?
Correct. Well, what happened, I guess the initial issue took place near the Giant on Allentown. And then I guess at Allentown and Temple Hill. And then that particular individual was shot at that location and then drove to Aldi for assistance, is my understanding.
And that was on next door?
No, it wasn't on next door. We had a member of our community who was present for part of that, who basically let us know that it was happening, so that we could, have this conversation and get some answers as to sort of what happened. And
Okay, yeah, I don't.
if it's something that you can't find now, we would certainly welcome the opportunity to dialogue with you about it later and let the community know.
Yes, because I don't see anything now. That will be under my important list when I
Okay.
type in this area. But I don't see anything as of right now. I have to go back and check again.
Okay.
But right now I don't see anything.
Fantastic, Officer Gordon. Well, we certainly appreciate you getting on the call this evening. We're actually now going to move toward Major Olaire from District 4. Good evening, Major Olaire. Now I can hear you, Major Olaire. So I need you all to know that Major Olaire is at his son's football practice, but he wanted to make sure that he was here this evening. So bear with us while we make sure that he's able to be heard.
Hi, I'm sorry, my phone was connecting to my car. Can you hear me? Just shake yes or no. Hi, nice to see thank you. Nice to see everyone. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I know Corporal Miller was trying to get on the call, but he was saying he couldn't see or hear anything. So I can give a brief overview of District 4 right now and the posture for the county. So the county right now as a total is about 2.5% up in crime this year. We're actually doing very good. For 10 years, I think we decreased in crime. But prior to COVID, I think the county was up about 8% overall in crime. So we are creeping down, and we're hoping the county overall will be down. I can say the good news is District 4 and District 7, which is Fort Washington, are the only two districts in the county that are in the negative right now. So District 4 is a negative 2.5% overall in crime. We are up 8 violent crimes. We are up 6 murders in District 4. And those murders, what we've been seeing, the trend is most of them have been related to drug deals. Our property crime has been doing good. We're in the negative in property crime this year right now in Oxon Hill. Our big problem right now that we're seeing in Camp Springs area, 23rd Avenue area, Iverson, Off-Road, Telfair area, are handicap placards. So if anybody on the call has a handicap placard, when you're not using it, please put it in your purse. Please take it inside. Please just put it somewhere that's out of sight, because we do have somebody going around that's breaking windows of cars and taking the placard. We are seeing some rim theft still. We do have a task force set up in the county for police officers that are trying to target these people who are doing I guess, organized property crimes such as rim theft, placard thefts, airbag thefts. As far as our posture, we're still not doing enforcement right now due to COVID. You will see officers doing some traffic stops where traffic stops are down because we're just trying to limit our exposure and your exposure as much as possible. We are taking a lot of reports over telephone. You should see officers on the street. Every officer should have a mask on. What we're focusing on right now, and the season's starting to come to a close, are these large parties for 2 reasons. One, COVID. There's still the county restrictions as far as COVID is concerned. And then the other problem is we've seen for years now that these large gatherings tend to lead towards violence. So if you happen to see a large party, if you happen to see these pop-up events right now on Branch Avenue at Iverson Mall and Sam's Car Wash, they promote these on social media, and then they all show up at a certain time, set up a DJ booth in the middle of a parking lot at 11 o'clock at night. If you happen to see these, please call 911, let us know. We want to shut these down immediately. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask, or you have my email and my phone number that you could pass out if you would like.
Thank you, Major O'Leary, and we certainly appreciate you being on this evening and multitasking. As I was saying to Officer Gordon, and I just want to make sure that you heard it, we in this community certainly support our local police department. You all are always willing to come in and have the tough conversations, let us know what's going on from a crime statistics perspective. And, you all show up, and we certainly appreciate your service. And, I don't know if anybody else has questions, but, one of the things that came up, and it's unclear whether it was in District 4 or District 5, was there was a shooting on Friday the 4th that took place at Giant and then migrated down to the Aldi on Allentown Road. And I guess the question was sort of what happened with that, and, whether or not you could shed any light on that. It was unclear, and perhaps Officer Gordon will get back to us at a later date, but if there's an immediate answer that you could give us, that would be very helpful this evening.
Yeah, so Friday on Allentown Road, there was a victim who got shot by another suspect. They were both in their cars on Allentown Road. I believe the victim, the suspect was tailgating the victim's car. I think at that point, the victim started to do what they call brake checking, and it turned into a road rage where the suspect pulled up alongside of the victim and fired one shot into the car. We don't have the suspect identified at this point, and I know the investigator is still working, but it's a road rage case, which, you know, unfortunately, I hear and we hear quite a bit about.
um, a whirlwind of trash all over the Allentown Road stretch from Branch Avenue all the way down to Temple Hills Road. So my question for you all is there something that can be done or that we can do to assist or to bring that down, to get that number down? Right now, there's just way too many people panhandling and too many pop-up vendors, if you will, in our community.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the area. I'm sure Old Branch and Allentown Road. We've worked with that property that's across the street. If you notice, they put a fence up, gated the fence, because we were having a lot of those people that you're saying are panhandling and leaving the trash everywhere. They were using those houses. We're actually trying to get the fire department them to donate that property to the fire department for training. So we're trying to get that property demolished. As far as panhandling, we do District 4. We work with social services because a lot of these people are homeless. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of our homeless community, one, don't trust the police, and the second part that's terrible is they don't want assistance. So call us. We will definitely come out and, you know, stop them. But as far as the homeless, sir, if you see them, please let us know. I know we're working on trying to help the ones that are around Old Branch and Allentown by the Royal Farms, because there's always people right there out in the middle of the road, which is going to lead to possibly, you know, being hit by a car. So if you see them, please call us. We try to keep track of where our homeless are, and then we do like quarterly, you know, meetups with them to try to just build that relationship with them to try to get them off the street. But yeah, no, definitely any assistance. I know I think Carla's on the call. She texted me. Hi, Carla. You know, working with them as far as, you know, helping the community and these homeless is definitely one of our concerns. So give us a call. My phone number and email, I know my phone number is 240-695-7444. You know, if you want to shoot me an email and say, hey, you know, this same person I see on these days at these times is out here, we'll definitely work with our District 5 partners and see what we can do about, you know, trying to build that relationship with them to hopefully get them the help they need. I like your background, by the way, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say from District 5, yeah, we're having the same issues, of course, with those panhandlers, but we meet up with them most every day. Like the major said, they don't want any help from us. They don't even trust the police. And then also with those pop-ups, I know there's a lot of Black Lives Matter pop-ups. We've been having a lot of complaints in reference to those. We work with Depop. So anytime you see a pop-up, it's actually illegal. You can contact one of the community service officers, or you can dial the non-emergency number, and then someone reach out to the community service officer, and then we'll have Depot to come out and do an inspection. So if you see a community pop up, or you can just contact 311, and Depot will come out and they'll call us out as well.
Hello, this is Harris Tay. I have a question from the community. Question is anything being done about cars parked in Center Drive, creating one-way through fare?
I'm sorry, what road was that?
Center Drive off of Old Branch Avenue. There are cars that are parked on on that street, and it's making it so it's very hard for cars to go in both directions.
Is this on the Royal Farm side of Old Branch, or is this on the Goodwill side of Old Branch?
Right, it's in District 4, Major Olair.
Okay. Well,
And
this is the first. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of this. Can you, Ms. Stretcher, is there any way you can provide my email to everybody on the call?
certainly.
Okay, and sir, if you would kindly shoot me an email today or tomorrow about the issues over there, and we'll get on it as soon as I get your email.
Great, thank you. And there's one more question that came from the community that I received. It's, are commercial properties, for example, carryouts and gas stations in our district held accountable for not maintaining their property and reporting unusual activity?
I would say, as far as maintaining their property, yes, that would be a DPI issue. As far as notifying us, I think a lot of properties do, but then there's also a lot that don't. And there's no repercussions, unfortunately, for them not calling us that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, well, we certainly appreciate your time this evening. And, you know, we appreciate the fact that you're always willing to come and talk to us about what's going on in our community. And we certainly hope that you see us as a partner in making sure that we keep our community safe and keep everybody safe.
Thank you, everyone. And
Thank
please, Ms. Stretcher, please provide my email and phone number for everybody.
I sure will, Major Olair.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Officer Gordon, as well.
You guys are welcome.
All righty. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Good night.
So with that, I'm going to move to the next item on the agenda, which would be the membership discussion led by Monique Taylor.
Good evening, Camp Springs. I hope everyone has been staying safe and healthy during this pandemic. I know it's been a trying year, but we are Camp Springs and we are strong, resilient, and united community. We will get through this. I welcome you to the first meeting of our fiscal year. For our first timers, we give you a double welcome and thank you for joining us, and please do not make this your last time. As a civic association, we are still working to make Camp Springs a better community. We are still looking for a few good men and women. We need volunteers for our standing committees, and just to name a few, we have education, environment, safety, transportation, membership, and media. That's just to name a few. We have extended the membership drive for this year, so please rejoin or become a member today, a new member. There are two ways that you can do this. You can go to the website, which is campspringsca.org. Go to the membership. Click on the type of membership, if you're residential or if you're a business. You can pay by credit card, you can pay with your PayPal, or if that's not how you want to do it, you can click on CSCA membership application. Fill that out, send in a check or money order at our P.O. Box, which is 1071 Camp Springs 20757, and make the check payable to CSC. We will be sending those who have already renewed or have joined, we will be sending out your membership cards real if you have not already received them. The pandemic has set us back a little bit, but as we said, we are a resilient community. So we're still trying to reach our membership goal of 300 by 2021. So as you recall, everyone is a member of membership. So reach out to your neighbors. Tell them about your community civic association. Get them on the Zoom. Get them involved. So with that, I pray that you continue to be safe and healthy. Stay vigilant. Although we have been opening up more and able to gather a little more, please be careful and don't let your guards down. Keep your distances, wear your masks, and wash your hands. Godspeed and continue to be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Monique. So the next item on the agenda is the Vice President's report. And as you know, I do try to bring you some statistics on what's happening in real estate in this market. And there are a couple of things, though, a couple of questions that I often receive. So I'm going to answer a couple of questions first. One of the main questions is it a seller or a buyer's market? And the truth is right now it's a seller's market because inventory is low and interest rates are low. So you have a lot of purchasers who are competing for properties. So that's the short answer to the question that I often receive. One of the other questions I receive is, should I refinance? Because of course, interest rates are low. And I mean, around 3%, some people want to lower their monthly payments. It might be a good idea to do that. And I know that many of us actually receive offers to do that. And so there are a couple of things that I just want you to remember as you receive those offers. They're going to send you the best case scenario first and foremost. So I know, I received an offer for 2.49%. I mean, it sounds wonderful, but take into consideration that your credit score, your debt to income ratio, your credit history, your length of employment, all of these things factor into the formula that determines where from 2.49 in the case that I'm speaking of, upwards actually happens. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing that I want to mention is that once you retire, it's very difficult to refinance just because your income has changed. So if you are around the retirement age and you're thinking about refinancing, keep in mind that it may be a good idea to refinance before you retire so that you're in a better position. Now, in terms of the statistics in our neighborhood, just want to give you the quick and dirty in terms of list price versus closed price, and also days on the market. So as a snapshot of what's going on right now, the average list price is about $379,300. The average close price is about $376,600. And take into consideration that any upgrades that you make to your home matter in terms of valuing your home over someone else's. So if you are going to make improvements, kitchens, bathrooms, always a good place to start. The median, just in terms of sort of what's happening, I've taken some older homes and some newly renovated homes. So our median on average for list is about 365, and properties are closing around the 385 range. Now, in terms of understanding days on the market, the numbers range between 3 and 31, which is actually good. That means if you put your, I'm not suggesting that anybody move out of Camp Springs, but if you put your house on the market, it would certainly be under contract based on what the numbers say, if all is in good condition, within a month. So on average, what we're seeing is that properties in this neighborhood are going under contract within 12 days. So just wanted to give you an update on what's going on in the market. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our featured speaker, Miss Faye Nelson from
your Census Complete Count Committee Chair. How are you? How everybody? I saw your questions. Can everybody hear me? Okay. I saw your questions. The first one was, are census funds divided up between districts? If so, who decides how much each district gets? My answer to that question is you have to be aware that each person counted gives a sense of the magnitude that's needed in each district. So what you want to do is make sure everybody in your district is counted. Now, they have census enumerators coming out door to door, and they have their badges, so they have been trained. I've conducted or facilitated some of those trainings myself. So there are real census ambassadors coming out to try to count those hard to reach communities. I would suggest that you request census, they're going to come out anyway, but you can also within your civic association put out the word to everybody in that district to complete their census online. The self-response rate for District 7 is currently at 62.3%, and 48.3% of that was by internet. Now, the goal here is to make sure that you surpass 2010's response rate, which I just looked up, was 68.2. So currently you're at 62.3. So apparently there's still some responses that need to be completed in your district. Now, once you get that count for District 7, I would shoot an email to Rodney Streeter, so councilman for District 7, and let him know what your needs are within District 7. So let him know, what are you looking for? Are you looking for employment centers? Are you looking for healthcare facilities? What are you looking for out of being counted for the funds from the census count? So let them know that you actually know about what's going on as far as representation and what you expect from that count. That would respond. That's the answer to your second question of why does it seem like District 7 is always underrepresented. And again, I would say that make sure that everyone is counted and try to surpass. I'm letting you know now, and we check the data for districts that we're working in daily. So again, District 7.
If I may, we're actually District 8.
Well, you're in District 8?
Correct. I just wanted to make that correction.
Oh, okay, sure. I can do a research on that too. I was looking up Camp Springs. But that will be the answer to that. I can get back to you on the numbers for District 8. Anybody have any other questions? Those were the two that I noted on the agenda.
So I think that historically, communities of color have felt as though there were some disadvantages to providing information in the census. So what would be your advice to us as a community relative to that perhaps misnomer?
I would say that other counties are being counted. When you go back and look at the numbers, they understand that this is a once in a decade opportunity to actually get representation that matters. And it matters because everyone knows what this census count is for. And again, your representatives know, all your council members know. So you reach out to them and say, hey, we completed our census in this district, and this is what we want from it. And there's no question with that, with regard to that. So again, other counties, luckily or thankfully, I should say, Maryland ranked top 10 this year, as opposed to 2010, when every time it comes around every 10 years. Maryland is actually on the map for being in the top 10 ranking. So we actually can get notification, or we can get the notoriety for the demand of what we deserve in Maryland. So this is that opportunity to take advantage of that.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this is Tammy, Ms. Payton. So how do we find out the information that we need to know, to go to, and to go to our representative and say, this is the amount of, this is the information that we have now gathered and what we would like in our community. Like, you know, I mean, we talked earlier to the police about the number of homeless people that we're seeing. And so we may need a facility for that. We may need another training facility, or, you know, some of those resources that will help people that we see out on the street.
Okay, so the first thing I would say is to, if you want to say to them, these are the things that we would like to request in this district, again, provide the data. So the data is based on the complete count data, and I can provide that in the chat, where you can see what the numbers look like for District 8. Again, that self-response gives you an idea of what funding needs to be distributed to that district. So you can confirm and say, hey, you know, we've taken part in this census, and we want to see what we can benefit from having our community come together and have our representation counted. So
Is that based on income and the number of residents? Or?
no, it's number of residents. It doesn't have to, it doesn't ask about your income. It simply asks about the demographics. For example, do you have children? How many children do you have within one household? So that's what they want to see. They want to see what households have children in them, because the funding is provided for the children's daycare. So they just figure out, based on, you know, what the demographics are, what the necessities might be. Now, if you as a community member noted, like, for example, you said about homeless, that might be just something specific that you want to reach out to once everyone gets counted in that district, and say there's a special need for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
So what would you say is the greatest challenge to the work that you have to do? My question is actually twofold, because I'm curious as to what the greatest challenges are associated with the work that you are tasked with. And then my second question has to do with, is it possible to walk us through what happens after the data is collected? That might be helpful for our membership.
The hardest part has been trying to get the underrepresented community counted. For example, when we go to immigrant communities, they're leery about completing this because they think that they're going to be deported or something along those lines. A lot of our senior community, they understand, we already understand how important this is, especially since it comes around every 10 years, and this is that year. That seems to be the bulk of the problem, is when people think they're going to get caught up in something other than what this simply is. And it's nothing to be fearful of. It's actually going to benefit the community that you live in. But a lot of people just aren't trusting of that themselves. So that's just one of the minor hiccups. But when you see the majority of the people who, like I said, Maryland got ranked within the top 10. So there are people who actually believe and trust in this process.
And then, as I said, my second question is, can you walk us through what happens with the information after we submit it?
Actually, that will be a census question. I don't work with the Census Bureau. I'm a representative with Maryland Park and Planning for their part. And what we've been able to do is provide grants. And when you see those food distribution sites, we're able to fund those through our census counts. So Maryland Park and Planning employees, Maryland Park and Planning, we have our individual effort to get the count out, since we are in public service also. And we give back with that money to those meal distribution sites that you may see pop up all around the county.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, with that, we're going to move to Mr. Victorious, who is going to talk to us about SPIZZY this evening.
Oh, thank you. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Awesome. So should I just go in and just that's interesting. So my name is Victorious by young people. I'm also an educator in Prince George's County. So my young people call me Brother Victorious. I'm an assistant principal now at Benjamin Stoddard Middle School. I was at Oxon Hill Middle School for a good number of years. And I'm sorry, actually used to live right off of Middleton Lane, right by Thurgood Marshall. My wife and I just moved out to Brandywine not too long ago. But I actually own SPIZZY. It's a whole fruit. I would like to say that we're a whole fruit smoothie establishment, right across the street from the Aldi's, right in Camp Springs. It was really important for me I was raised in Prince George's County, bred in Prince George's County, went to Sula High School, Drew Freeman Middle School, Concord Elementary, and Morningside. So I grew up right in Forestville. So it was very important for me to try to bring something into my own community. So we opened up right in Prince George's County, right in Camp Springs. It was important for me. The reason why I wanted to open up a smoothie shop is because I wanted to employ my former young people that I taught for such a long time. I always felt like I was teaching them something like entrepreneurship and building your community, but I didn't have anything for them to actually hone those skills. So my dream is actually coming true, right? So I have about 5 or 6 employees now. 4 or 5 of them are my former young people that I service at in middle schools. So I'm trying to teach them customer service, attention to detail, being responsible to your vision, while also helping them understand that it's a temporary job, because I want them to be looking at something much more bigger and deeper and being able to see their own vision. So it's a mentorship that they're getting paid for. That's what I kind of like to say. But we're 100% whole fruit establishment. All of our menu items are named after cities in Prince George's County. So you can come in and get the Forestville or the Camp Springs milkshake or the Temple Hills, which is pineapple and mango, right? So it's a celebration of everything that Prince George's County is. Because far too often we are painted in a light that is not positive, but Prince George's County is a hub for Black excellence. So it's just very important that we celebrate that as much as we can, and that's what SPIZZY is trying to do. Not only sell things that help us, because we are a vegan and vegetarian friendly environment. We also serve other options as well, but we want people to have a healthy choice in their community. So if you want to get up one day and say, oh, I want some fruit in my system, you can come to SPIZZY. Or if you want a vegan waffle that is extremely good with 100% maple syrup, right, you come to SPIZZY. But that's what we're trying to be. We sell positive vibes. I tell customers all the time, everybody can make a smoothie at home. What SPIZZY is offering is a space in our community where you can feel loved and respected when you come into the store. And that's pretty much what we're about. I think we've been open since March, so we opened in the middle of the pandemic. And we're making it happen. We're trying our best to adjust to the social norms and make sure that we keep everybody safe in the environment, so we still grab and go. You can order online at drinkspizzy.com, but we're just trying to be here for the community. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we certainly appreciate your enthusiasm. We appreciate that you are committed to educating and mentoring youth. Those are all things that are important. And so is there a story behind how you decided to name your business?
Oh, that's such a good question. And I love it too, because people always ask me that. And so I'm an avid cyclist, so I ride bikes a lot. We actually have we offer rides from the store. And I was riding my bike one day, and I'm fighting in my head about what to call it and should I name it after me? And I was doing research. And then I'm a weirdo. So it just came to me one day and I was like, oh, SPIZZY, the spot. So that's all it really is. It's just a play on words. But it rings and it's been doing a good job. So I guess my weird mind made it work, I guess.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure learning more about your business this evening. And, I'm sure I hope that you'll have a little more participation in the neighborhood now that we know exactly where you are. So you're on Allentown Way. What is your address?
Yeah, I'm on Allentown Way. I'm 5830 Allentown Way. And we're on social media as well. So if you have an Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, all you have to type in is Drink Spizzy. And all of our information will come right up. Yeah. And I will say Camp Springs the support has been overwhelming. So
Good.
it has been, in my wildest dreams, could not imagine how much support has been pouring through the shop. Even me being on the call, Brother Bailey, met him a few years ago working at Oxon Hill Middle School. And it's just those small things and that I'm forever grateful for, because it for me, it retells the story of who we are as a community. And I just think it's just so important that we continue to celebrate and continue to lift each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I missed my cue. I was trying to do some emails, the comments that are coming in, but I definitely wanted to speak on Brother Vic. Victorious has done an excellent job. We ran into each other a few years ago through the realm of fatherhood. He's an excellent father, excellent husband, doing the right thing. A young man that's showing, not only talking about what to do, but he's showing the young people what to do. He is the epitome of a mentor, a young mentor, mentoring young people. And I'm so proud of him. I remember he was living in Camp Springs. Sorry to see him go, but I'm so proud that he opened his business in Camp Springs. And I frequent there often. Actually, I did a president's pop-up at his location. And from that, I did a few others. And I've been getting so many calls from other businesses within Camp Springs to come and do their pop-up. We wanted to make sure that we let people know that they're in the community and they're open. This is during the pandemic, so all of my pop-ups have been with a mask on. It's been a little difficult to work with, but we're doing it. And this is one young brother that I am so proud of. And I encourage everyone to visit Spizzy at least a couple times a week. Go by and see him. It's a very warm environment. It's a lot of love. And the young men that he taught young are now working there. It's the truth. I see it. And you can see how he has encouraged them to become great men now. So I can't say enough about this young brother. He's doing the right thing. I really appreciate him, and I wish him much success.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And if I may, I'd like to say I appreciate your business. I have a small business in Camp Springs, but I appreciate having you open on Saturdays, because I go there every Saturday to get patties and smoothies, and I am so upset when you run out of those patties. So the young man told me, well, just send us an email and let us know that you're coming to get the patties, and we'll save them for you. So
thank you so much.
I mean, those patties are so good, you all.
Yeah, that's probably,
yeah,
I can't keep them on it's hard to keep them on in the oven, because they come as soon as they come.
Well, keep them going.
I will try. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
So Brother Victorious, because now we know you as Brother Victorious, we wish you much success, and we will continue to patronize your business and to encourage others to do the same.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you.
And now we are going to move to Miss Monique Taylor, who's going to give an update on some highlights from the health department and some things that she's been working on.
Hello, it's me again. So on September the 1st, I attended Prince George's County Office of Community Relation and Health Department. They had a civic association town hall meeting. And I just want to give you some highlights related to the health department. And they also had the Board of Election on the call, on the Zoom call also. First and foremost, they indicated after July the 4th, the COVID cases in Prince George's County went up. That means that we were gathering a little too much and not social distancing and wearing our masks. But they have been able to get the curve down, and we're on the cusp of a moderate to low on cases. And again, they want us to be cautious. And then they're indicated that each week they're doing 19,000 COVID testing in Prince George's County. Again, hand washing, don't have large parties, and don't attend large parties. And they also indicated that if you do not have health insurance, you need to go to the healthcare insurance and sign up. You can call, I'll say it slowly, 301-927-4500. Enrollment is every day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's if you need healthcare insurance. The Prince George's County Health Department offers free COVID testing for individuals with or without symptoms that have been exposed or suspected to have been exposed to COVID-19. If you have exposed to somebody who's tested positive, you don't need an appointment, you don't need a doctor prescription or insurance to be tested. If you need more information, you can go to the Prince George's County website under Prince George's County and look up the health department. Now, also remember, okay, including in that with the symptoms, they also indicated that one of the criteria is, of course, if you have symptoms, or if you are part of the county contact tracing case investigations, you have a change in your health status, and if you attended the large gatherings. Testing locations, the one that's closest to us is at the D. Leonard Dyer Regional Health Center. That's in Clinton off of Piscataway Road, right where the, what is it, the library, what is it called? Clinton Surratt Library. And they're open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are other locations. You can go to Wayne Curry Sports and Learning. They're open from Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6. Cheverly Health, they're open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 3. There's Laurel Beltsville Senior Activity Center. They're also open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6. Chillum Recreation Center, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6. And then we have one in Fort Washington. That's the Adventist Medical Group. They're open Monday, Tuesdays, and Friday, and that's from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. They also offer pop-ups, and it's based on the statistics. And those are on Fridays. They do mobile task force, which you know where they have hot spots, and you can go to 311 for the testing schedule. Anyone in the state can be tested at any of the locations. If you need more information, you can go to the coronavirus hotline at 301-883-6627, and that's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They wanted us to know that they have a compliance program. That's where they work with the businesses, the schools. They have ambassadors. They have 80 ambassadors who, in their profession, they are inspectors. So they go out, they inspect to ensure that these businesses and schools are complying with the CDC guidelines because they're trying to educate the businesses. And if there are complaints, they're there to help correct the problems. However, if they do not adhere, once they educate and help you out, the businesses can be fined. They indicated also, if you in your neighborhood, you see that your neighbors are having large parties, which are over 50, because Prince George's County is still at the no parties larger than 50, you can contact 311 to report the large parties. And then they have a special COVID unit open Monday through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Contact 311. The county indicated that they have a stand-up delivery program. That's where they partner with nonprofits for meal distribution. You need to go to the Prince George's County website under community relations to determine, where you can get meals or groceries. And that's offered Tuesday through Sundays. That is what I have for the related to COVID. Now the Board of Election indicated that due to COVID-19, the Board of Election is open to the public by appointments only. You can call 301-341-7300 to make an appointment. They indicated as of September 1, Prince George's County had 599,000 registered voters. And that the June primary, they had the highest number of voter turnout since 2008 election. It was 96% voted by mail. The Board of Election, they are encouraging us to vote by mail in light of the pandemic. You can request a ballot application several different ways. You can text. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know what V as in victory, B as in boy, M means. I'm a little slow in that. But you text 7778 to your cell phone to request the application. Early voting will be held Monday, October the 26th through Monday, November the 2nd, and that would be from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. General election is November 3rd from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., but they're highly recommending that we vote by mail. They sent out ballot applications were mailed out around August the 24th, and they indicated that we should have received them by now. But if you have not, you can request a ballot application online. You can, if you go to the Board of Education, I keep saying Board of Education, Board of Election under Prince George's County website, it will pop up and they have this scrolling and you can click on that to request your ballot. They said, get your ballots in early, don't wait, vote safe. For this year, normally we have 244 polling sites and 3,500 election workers. The polling site has been reduced to 40 polling sites. 29 would be of the high schools in the county. And then we have the some community centers. The closest ones to us is Southern Regional Tech and Rec Complex, which is on Bach Road. And then you have the Southern Area Aquatic Center, which is in Brandywine. There will be 11 early voting sites. Again, go to the website, but Bach Road is one of them, and the Southern Area Aquatic Center is one of the early voting sites. They're going to install the drop boxes. So if you want to just drop your ballot into those drop boxes, you'll be able to do that. Or if you want to go right and drop it off, you go to 1100 Mercantile. And they will have ballots at every site. And that completes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. So we just wanted to take the time to thank you for joining us for our first virtual meeting. And our next virtual meeting is going to be November the 11th. Is that accurate still? Just want to make sure before, okay, fantastic. And so once again, you know, as Monica said, we certainly hope that you will remain safe during this time, and may God continue to bless and keep you. And in the meantime, John, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, I want to let Ms. Beverly Taylor say a couple words on our election. This is an election year for the Camp Springs Civic Association, and then we'll follow up with Ms. Tammy Jones, who will speak on a bylaws amendment coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Beverly Taylor. How you doing? Hope you are doing well and staying healthy. I know this is early, and I know you're saying it's election time already. Yes. In 2021, May of 2021, we will be electing new leadership for our organization. So I want you to be thinking about, you know, if you want to run, or you might know someone you want to submit as a candidate. So, you know, I'm coming back again with this same request, but I'm giving you time to think about it now. You know, this is your organization also. You know, we represent you, and, you know, if you want to be part of it, put your name in. And let us know if you want to run for president, vice president, recording secretary, correspondence secretary. Our treasurer has to come from our board, sitting board. But, you know, if you want to run for those offices, please, please let us know, okay? You can contact John or myself, anybody on the board, Monique, our vice president, you know, Sister Denny, you know, anybody, let us know. So this is September, so you got plenty of time to think about it. Thank you. Be safe.
Thank you, Beverly. Ms. Tammy Jones?
Hey, everybody. So just quickly, I want to, in our bylaws, we have to give 30 days notice that we will make amendments to the bylaws. We have not updated the bylaws since 2014, 2015. We have a committee that's formed to update the bylaws. There is not very much that needs to be updated in it, and I can quickly read to you what we plan on changing, amending, and it was pretty much came about as a result of the pandemic and us not being able to meet in person. And so we felt it was necessary to add virtual meeting, the ability to have virtual meetings to our bylaws. So under, if you go to the website, you can see a copy of the bylaws. Under Article 10, which is meetings number 4, I'll just read what we plan on stating in number 4. In the event a scheduled board meeting is interrupted or postponed due to inclement weather, a scheduling conflict at the meeting location, or for the safety of the board, membership, and community, a rescheduled meeting will take place on the following Wednesday, either at the same location or virtually/remotely or electronically as determined by the president. Then we're adding a number 5, which states, the president and board of directors may call and participate in committee meetings or membership meetings virtually / remotely or electronically via telephone, conference, or various internet / electronic platforms. Certain circumstances, such as a pandemic, may require directors to convene meetings on short notice and or require remote membership meetings. So those are the changes. And of course, updating the date that in our bylaws for this year. And that's it. And at the next meeting, we'll present it and have a vote, and it'll be effective.
All right, thank you, Tammy. Really appreciate it. I think we want to thank everyone in the community for participating and coming out, taking their time out. We want to thank Ms. Nelson, Major Olaire, Corporal Gordon, Brother Victorious, and Candace for a job well done in moderating this meeting. So all of the volunteers who helped out answering or fielding the questions, and we're on Facebook as well, so there's things going on there, questions are going on there as well. So we absolutely thank the community. And Tara, I know you don't want your face to be shown, but we have a wonderful tech who is helping us run this meeting. This is the new way of doing things. So if you would just unmute yourself and state who you are, your business, and your contact information, because there's some other organizations that I'm sure are watching that may need your services. So we definitely want to support our own. So I want you to just expose what you do, who you are, your information. You can do that quickly. You don't have to show yourself. Tower?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you know.
We want to,
Hey,
appreciate
everybody.
you for doing the job.
My
doing
name
a great
is Tara, aka Carib Gem. That's my entertainment name. And my business, C Gem Speaks LLC. I do multimedia engineering, education, production, and consulting. And for those of you guys who are not sure about what multimedia is, it is anything consisting of audio, visual, website design, graphic design, business writing, all types of things, journalism. So that's what I do. Also, I am the program director and owner of WOW Radio. That's WOW, the letter, well, not the letter U, but WOW Radio. But the website is www.WOW, the letter U radio.net. We actually have a show going on right now. And yeah, I'm just a big supporter of the community. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland. I used to have a business in Camp Springs for a number of years. And I'm just a big community advocate as well. So Mr. Bailey knows me from doing things with other organizations like the South County Democratic Club and just a lot of other organizations in the area. So I'm around, I'm here. I will drop my information in the Zoom or the Facebook Live, and you guys can just check me out. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Mr. Bailey.
Of course. We love you. And she's right. It's been some years that I've known her, and she's done an excellent job throughout the community. She's actually filmed one of our meetings in the past. So she has worked with us before, and we will continue to make sure that we move into our new way of living. It helps to have someone that knows what they're doing, right? So without further ado, let's, I certainly appreciate everyone. We're going to close out and don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. We certainly appreciate you. We want you to continue to be safe. We wish safety on your family. Just search for peace in understand where we are. And, you know, we're here for you. We're here for the community. So you can call on us anytime. We appreciate everyone. Thank you. And the meeting.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. And we'll see you guys in November.
Good night.
Good night.
We're off live.
Oh, yeah, but she's still recording.